Some airlines are advising travelers to prepare for possible flight delays as the federal government shutdown enters day 13 with no end in sight. Shortages of air traffic controllers delayed flights at airports last week, including Burbank, California and Nashville, Tennessee. The FAA also issued travel advisories last week warning that flights to Denver were being delayed because of staffing issues with its air traffic controllers there. So the delays continued Tuesday as controllers were working without pay. They called out sick in some cases across the country, and now it has passengers all over the country wondering if it's still safe to fly and if they're going to reach their destinations in a timely manner. We're bringing back Kent State University Associate Professor of Aeronautics, Jason Lorenzon. Jason, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So how has this government shutdown impacted air traffic so far from what you've been able to tell?
So a couple of things. I mean, the system is pretty resilient because the airlines have a pretty robust system of getting passengers to the final destination. Not that there's going to be, there will be delays in the future. I have found flying in the national airspace system, I did a flight to Columbus and South on the weekend. ATC is very helpful, very supportive, very cordial. I was thanking them for all their hard work because they are essential. They have to come into work, and the rules still apply to them. They can, you know, if they're going to miss more than 3 days, they have to essentially get a doctor's note, from what I understand. But we are so dependent here in the United States on air travel. The last time we had a government shutdown, it was thanks to air traffic control that the government got back to work. We'll probably see the same thing here, but if I'm a passenger, I'm going to give myself extra time. And the one thing I've been telling everybody is be kind. There will be delays. This morning, though, we're just seeing two major delays in Boston and LaGuardia, mainly due not to ATC, but to weather.
Right.
So the system is still going, and it will shut down when ATC thinks it's going to be unsafe to continue to do so in certain airports.
Okay. And you mentioned the TSA agents, the air traffic controllers, they work without pay. How long do you think they're going to keep showing up before we start to see maybe more shortages that reach a level of concern? Do you think we'll get to that point?
I don't know. Again, there's certain rules in place. Again, you're going to might see some larger lines with the TSA. Air traffic control is a little bit more robust and more forceful in terms of its actual rules and showing up in that 3-day notice. But again, I think the big lesson here is continue to be kind, but give yourself extra time. I know I had a family member who went to Europe or to Iceland last week, and they actually showed up at the airport 4 hours early before their international flight, and they didn't have an issue. So I think if you start to see this prolonged, just give yourself, you know, if you think 2 hours, just double it, or an hour, 2 hours. If it's 2 hours, think 4 hours to get to the airport.
Real quick, as a pilot, can you describe, can you work around a situation where maybe there's not an air traffic controller or enough of them in place? Sure. Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. When it becomes uncontrolled, like in the Burbank situation, the tower left it up to the pilots to figure it out. So you become an uncontrolled field. We have plenty of them in this Northeast Ohio, where I teach at Kent State. That's actually an uncontrolled field. We actually, as pilots, are the controllers and the pilots. We are announcing our traffic patterns. There is a systemized traffic pattern that's established by the FAA and by each airport. And as pilots, we follow that. And we're responsible at that point for our own separation. We're communicating with each other, and it can largely be done very safely going into what's called an uncontrolled field.
All right. And as we get close to the holiday travel season, do you think we're going to see the shutdown linger that far, or do you think it'll probably wrap up before then?
I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I would hope it wraps up, but if it doesn't, again, the best advice I can give to the public, to the general public, is give yourself enough time. Expect to be delayed. There's always an adage, if you go by air, make sure you have time to spare. That's even on a good day, because there's a number of disruptions that can happen from mechanical weather. Now we see ATC and the government shutdown.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your help.
Thank you, Lindsay.